Hi, this is Brett Knowles. I want to take you for a quick run through what our presentation will be like for Summit 24. Now, it's important to note that I had a quick conversation with Dan and I have a good understanding of the workshop format that he's looking for. So here's how it would go. The agenda is going to be straightforward. A quick education of what are OKRs, talk about some of the benefits so that we get people bought into it, and then most of the time will be spent on a workshop helping them build out their OKRs. So what are OKRs? And I'll just go through the simple principle of it's all about taking our strategy and cascading it down into bite-sized pieces, be they quarterly, weekly, daily activities, and make that available to everyone in the organization. And so it'll be a quick conversation about that overall framework. From there, we'll use an example. We'll use Batman as a fun example. And again, the idea of his objective, instill fear of Gotham criminals, talk about two key results that we'd be looking for Batman, and also an associated initiative or project. So there's a good example, and let them know that the objective is basically, the format is, we'd agree that we'll achieve this objective if we see these key results or these outcomes. So that's the principle of what OKRs are. Basically, it's like Lego blocks. I build them with three things: objectives, key results, and initiatives. So an example from the industry might be, let's say we want to increase our competitive advantage. That's an objective. To do that, we're going to build some online claim capability. And beneath that online claim capability, we have a project, build a line portal, and then a couple of key results: the percentage of claim updates on the portal, number of digital partners using the portal. And if we hit a critical tipping point, then we're going to expand to other lines of business. And again, there's our project of expanding the portal, and then other key results. So like Lego blocks, we can build out an area that describes each element of your strategy. So that's the example of what OKRs are. What are the benefits? So I'm going to provide you three types of evidence. One is who's using OKRs. And of course, they're all the big name companies in the tech space. So Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Microsoft, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But also in your space, our clients include State Farm, MetLife, Chubb Insurance, Progressive Insurance, Blue Shield, Blue Cross, Guardian, et cetera. And a few 100,000 small and medium-sized enterprises, between 50 and 5,000 people. So a lot of industry support and wide, generally accepted practices. Typical benefits, and we'll go through a roster of tiles on what sort of benefits organizations see. And then we'll talk about the general classifications of benefits: alignment, focus, transparency, adaptability, and growth. And done. We're then going to move on to the workshop part, which is people building their own OKRs. And so we're going to do it in 4 steps. We're going to hand out dice, and they're at each table, and they're going to roll the dice. And based on what they roll, if they roll a 1, they're going to write an objective around company growth. If they roll a 2, increase sales; 3, new customers; 4, developer people; 5, adding new offerings; and 6, operational excellence. And the idea here is across the room, we'll end up with a mix of different inputs so that we can work them as a team, and also several teams working on the same things in random groups. So from there, they need to create a strategy. So based on that area that you've chosen, what you want to achieve in that as an outcome. And again, it's important to note that the objectives are described as a verb and outcome. So for example, enter new markets. That's it, very clear. And I want to talk about outcomes for a second. The issue is, it's not your output, but the outcome. Output are the tasks that you do. The outcome are the consequences of what you do. And, so why you do it. So to make sure that you have the right outcome, just keep asking yourself why you're doing an activity until you get to what your customer's benefit is from the work. For example, why am I giving this seminar? Well, I want you to learn about OKRs. So that's the outcome I'm looking for, not present 42 slides or entertain you for 45 minutes. Those are outputs, not outcomes. From there, we're going to take a break and they're going to do some workshop. They're going to create one objective for their area, reminding them that it's verb and outcome. Then we'll do a bit of a debrief. The participants, I'll pick on random groups and they'll present a few of the objectives. So we might have 2 or 3 growth objectives talked about, 2 or 3 people objectives, and so on. Go on to step 2. Step 2 is key results. And your key results answer the question, what would I see more of or less of? And the standard format is, symbol, metric, name. So for example, for enter new markets, it might be number of new customers, dollar sales, percentage sales from new markets. And so then we workshop, they're going to go create their key results, reminding them that it's, symbol, metric, name. And then we'll do a debrief again, get some examples from different areas around the room. Next step, setting targets. And so a bit of education. Targets can be both committed, the numbers you have to hit, and best possible. What happened, what would you get if everything went perfectly? And so on our example, we've been using number of new customers from new markets. My committed numbers in Q1, I want to hit 5, and Q2, I want to get 10. My best possible might be Q1 is 10 and Q2 is 20. So the idea is think about that at a level of granularity you've probably never done before, come up with most committed best possible outcomes. We take a break, they workshop it, they come up with their targets. Then we do a debrief about, in this case, how easy or tough it was, and they'll find it's tough planning at this level of detail. Then finally, we're going to put it to use. We're going to say, great, now you've built some objectives, key results. How do you use this thing? So let's take a scenario. Let's pretend sales have taken off. All of us in this room, same company, sales have taken off. And we literally have twice the business we had at this time last year. Now we need to run an OKR performance meeting. So to do that, what I really want you to do is to prepare your presentation. 2 steps. One is fabricate a key result, based on the key results and targets you set. Fabricate what twice the volume would look like. And then secondly, just write 3 sentences of analysis. And the 3 sentences are what happened, so what the implication is, now what are you recommending we do about it? So I'll give you a reminder. In this case, let's say for my scenario, number of new customers, my target was 5, I actually got 15. And my what is, we've grabbed all sorts of market share. So what? We've got some back office problems because of the volume. Now what? Let's hire some people and limit sales in Q2. That's the example. Now they're going to go workshop, prepare their analysis, and then we're going to have a round robin debrief. We're going to pretend we're running a meeting, and we're going to go around the tables. Okay, for the teams that did company growth, tell us your what, so what, now what, and then increase sales and so on. And so we'll sort of walk through a mock performance meeting. And therefore, in conclusion, we educated you on what are OKRs. We showed you some of the benefits, and you actually began to see how easy it is to create them and what it would look like to run an organization with them. The end.